Welcome to Small Business Hacks. If you're watching this video on a computer, there are 80% chances that Intel powers your CPU. One of the main reasons for the overwhelming success of this American technology company has name and surname. Andrew Grove. He was the third employee of Intel and later became their CEO. He is also considered one of the pioneers and builders of Silicon Valley. He passed away in 2016, leaving a legacy of management techniques and has a role model in entrepreneurship. Here you will learn some lessons of the Man of the Year, according to Time magazine, the legendary Andy Grove. Focus every hour of your day on increasing your output. One of the central thoughts of Mr. Grove is that the output of a manager is the output of an organization. In modern vertical corporations, middle and junior managers often merely pass the information along. The question that managers should ask themselves in these cases are: first, are you adding real value? If you're only transmitting information and not aggregating any value, you are replaceable and your prospects are gloomy. Second, are you trying new ideas, new techniques, and new technologies? Or are you waiting for others to figure out how they can re-engineer your workplace and you out of that workplace? Managers should continually look for ways to make things better in their departments. Every hour of the day should be used to increase the output of your team. Second, how to understand why your team is not achieving good results. When one member has a bad performance, ask yourself, if the person's life depended on doing the work, could he do it? If the answer is yes, you have a motivational problem, because the capability is there, but lacks the incentive to mobilize it. If the answer is no, then, and only then, you have a capacity problem, which either requires training or reassignment. Overall, a leader has two great leverages to increase results: motivating and training. Third, take the rotten egg out before the customer sees it. In the book High Output Management, Andy illustrates some of his ideas using the fictitious example of a breakfast factory. To keep a good reputation with customers, the production line must avoid that any rotten egg arrives at the customer table. In fact, bad eggs should be rejected even before reaching the breakfast assembly lines. Never a rancid egg should arrive at the customer table, because there the damage would be multiple times the cost of solving it earlier. We should always detect and fix any problem in a production process at the lowest value stage possible. This stage is almost always the earliest. Fourth, for every indicator, have a counter indicator. Indicators drive your attention to the thing you measure. Mr. Grove makes a good analogy. It's like riding a bike, you probably steer it where you are looking at. If you spend too much time measuring and analyzing variable costs, you may forget about maximizing revenues. Since indicators direct entire departments, it's important to have paired indicators to measure the effect and counter effect of a decision. Example, if you decide to reduce inventory, measure both your inventory levels and shortage backups. Lower inventories will release capital for investments, but also increase the risk of a supply shortage. Measuring both together, you can find a middle term with less risk. 5. A shared culture reduces bureaucracy. A fast-growing business quickly can go down the road of bureaucracy. This happens because with new team members hired all the time, it's difficult to assimilate company procedures, rules, and expected behaviors. A shared business culture helps with that. When the rules become practice, people start to comply by example instead of by decree. The newbies will follow the rest of the team and processes can be simplified. 6. How monitoring should be done. Information is important for the decision making of a manager. How well a leader comprehends facts and understands the business play a vital role in leading a team. But as important information is, to gather it should not be an obstacle in the routine of your employees. The best performing team members should not waste their time reporting their day. That is why Andy Grove suggests, how often you monitor should not be based on what you believe your team can do, but on their experience and performance with the task. This is called task-relevant maturity. 7. Cut windows into the black box of your business. Imagine a business has a box, where the inputs enter on one side, the process happens inside, and the outputs, your product or service, are delivered on the other side. This is what Andrew Grove calls the business black box. And inside this black box is where the processes happen, and from there comes most of the unexpected interruptions or defects that damage output. We can't control our customers, but we can control our inputs and processes. A great input for me is your opinion. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notifications for our next videos. Now going back to our subject. A manager should do everything possible to reduce little stops caused by small issues. He also should be prepared to react quickly and effectively to emergencies. Look for sources of future troubles by cutting windows into the black box of your business. 8. Interviews should be about discovering motivations and attitudes. Frequently, interviews are about technical aspects. Sometimes this is understandable, but you should have in mind that, first, technical deficiencies can be solved with training. Second, attitude and motivations are hard to shape from zero. The interview is a vital moment to discover what are the attitudes and reactions of the candidate. So Andrew Grove suggests questions like, what do you consider your most significant failures? What did you learn from them? Why do you think an engineer should be chosen for a marketing position? What was the most important course or project you completed in your college career? How to answer correctly to "do you have a minute?" and not lose your talents. Often middle and junior managers prioritize meetings and emails over their team concerns. But remember that the priority of a manager is the team output and not reporting. Imagine a situation where an employee stops you in the corridor and asks if you have a minute to talk. He tells you that he wants to leave the company. In this situation, your reaction is crucial. Some managers would prefer to escape from the corridor, saying that they will talk together about that later. If your employee is leaving because he feels that he is not important enough, you just confirmed it to him. Andy Grove gives an idea for these situations. Drop what you are doing. Sit with him and ask why he is quitting. Spend time nurturing your team and improving their output. And try to answer yes when they ask if you have a minute. Thanks for watching.